Hello and welcome to another episode of the Classical Republican. Today we are talking about the Constitution of San Marino, which is, some people say it's the oldest republic. That's existing right now. So let's talk about it. It's a tiny little city-state in Italy, and they have two captains regent, kind of like the consuls of Rome. And they are elected by the Great and General Council. Great and General Council. We'll get into that in a little bit more. Now, it says that they also have popular sovereignty. It's a representative democracy, but it's a republic. And the law shall govern both the oregno and the other institutions of direct democracy. The oregno is kind of like that's a word that goes back to medieval times where you had the old republics, the Italian city-state republics. The regno was kind of like the people. But in San Marino's case, it was kind of the heads of the households, and they would go and vote. But today they have universal and direct suffrage. Now, these captain regents are only in office for 6 months. They have some emergency powers, but there's also this Congress of State. We'll get into that in a minute. They also believe in separation of powers, so that's very important when you have a republic. Now, the Great and General Council is made up of 60 members, and they exercise the legislative powers, direct and control government policy, and they are there for 5 years. That's not in the Constitution, and also the 6-month term of the captains regents, not in the Constitution, but that's what they are. So I guess they can be changed by law. The council's members shall be elected by universal and direct suffrage, and then there's also various groups and commissions that are mentioned here very vaguely, but I guess those are just, committees and subcommittees. There's also the Congress of State, which is the government in a European sense. So you have the Congress of State shall be vested with the executive power according to the principles of collegiality and responsibility. So there you have their executive, legislative. One more thing about the Congress of State: it shall be appointed by the Great and General Council. And the Congress of State may issue legislative acts in the form of regulations subject to law provisions. And it shall issue reasoned administrative decisions in conformity with the law. So they're in charge of direct and public administration. There's also a judiciary. Let's go on. Yeah, not much about the judiciary. Kind of like the U.S. Constitution. Then you also have the legislative initiative. It can be, the member by any member of the council, the council's commissions, the Congress of State, the township councils, and every citizen. So you can have like referendums like we do in the United States. Yeah, everyone's equal before law, access to public services, guarantee equal social dignity, and equal protection of rights. So equality is important, very good. Arts and sciences and education shall be free, suffrage shall be universal. Says that all citizens shall have the right to form, in a democratic way, political parties and trade unions. So that's good. They represent they show that they need non-domination, even in the workplace. And each citizen has both right and duty to work. So there's a Mazzini reference right there. Also, Social Security is mentioned in the Constitution. And let's see. Oh, then there's this guarantors panel ensuring the constitutionality of rules. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the Constitution of one of the oldest republics existing right now in the 21st century. Until next time, long live the Republic.